You're watching iRacing on the Ghostfire Media Network.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're here at North Wilkesboro for the first race in the round of 6 in the AOLL Sportsman series. I'm Carl Henderson here with Ghostfire Media, and let's go through what we're talking about today in the race, if I can get my software to work here. Well, hang on just a second, folks. It is not wanting to do anything for me here. Oh, well, apparently there isn't that camera here. My apologies, folks. Let's take a look at the race info. So there's a possibility we could be one stop here if we stay green. Now, whether or not that'll be the case, we'll see. But the other thing I want to keep an eye out on is the aggressiveness level, because you know, this, as I mentioned, this is the first race in this race, round of 6 of 3 races in the AOLL Sportsman finals. So, how aggressive do you want to be on this first race? You know, you've got Blake Gordon out tonight, so you have an opportunity to get some points padding on him. So. How hard do you push it here? And that's a big question, I think. So let's take a look here, see if we can find someone on track. We've got qualifying going on right now. Here's Justin Rodden. We'll pull up our race view here. He just finished his. How about Derek Schilling? Take a look here at Derek running his laps, and we'll see how he's going. But like I said, first round of the playoffs, we've got 6 drivers. They are the ones that are highlighted in gold at the top. And those are the guys that we're really going to be keeping an eye out for. Again, with the exception of Blake Gordon, and see where it all shakes out. We do have our points tracker that we will be looking at tonight to find out how the driver's doing. Actually, Blake Gordon is on track. That's unexpected. We were not expecting him to be here tonight. Pretty sure this is the race he said he wasn't going to be here for. So here he is. I don't think he has had a single lap of practice, and he's just coming out, and he's going to come out and set a lap time. And currently sitting 10th on the board. Not really a surprise with 0 practice, but Blake Gordon here tonight. So we've got all 6 of our playoff drivers that will be here in the race. Got Marshall Hall here. I think he has finished his lap. I think everyone has finished up here. And as soon as qualifying's over, in about 15 seconds, I will run us through the grid. And we do have one more surprise for you tonight. I'm going to wait until everyone gets on track to show you guys. I think it'll provide a useful perspective for what's going on in car for these guys. All right, so let's run through our grid. And starting in first place, we have Chris Passini. In second, Joe Dinsmore. Third is Brandon Bernhardt, and in fourth, Brian McFerrin. Fifth is Justin Anderson, and then sixth, Cody Mitchell. Seventh is Johnny Downey. Eighth is Teddy Weichel. Ninth is Kevin Moeller, and in 10th, Blake Gordon. 11th is Justin Rodden, and in 12th, Josh Laston. 13th is Ed Springer, and in 14th, Dan Witt. 15th is Mike Burgess, and in 16th is Marshall Hall. 17th, we have John Gordon, and 18th, Derek Schilling. 19th is Adam Wood, and in 20th, Ross Gage. 21st is Kevin Schmidt, and in 22nd, Tony Pandon. And rounding out our field in 23rd, Kyle Brooks. So we will begin going here shortly, and let's take a look at this points tracker real quick, and we're going to see if it actually works this week. But this is, again, going back to if the race were to end right now, what would our point situation be? If we look at it here, right now, no surprise there, Chris Bassini would be sitting at the top. You know, we got Blake Gordon down there, who did come in tied for the lead, but didn't have the best qualifying effort. So, he's fallen down, but still ahead of Josh Laston. Everything looks like it's working there. So, if the race were to end right now, this is what we'd be looking at going into the next round of the playoffs. So we'll be keeping an eye on that throughout the night. And these cars should be getting rolling here in about 10 more seconds. And when they do, I'm going to show you the one little surprise we have here. All right, and time has, I believe, expired here for the gridding, and then they should start moving here. Here they go. Chris Bassini leads them off with Joe Dinsmore to his outside. And let's go back here to Josh Laston. And what we are going to do here, a little something different. If you look on the right, that is exactly what Josh Laston is seeing right now. He uses a VR headset. So we're actually seeing what he is looking at live as it's happening. And so it's almost like a helmet cam. We can see him looking into the corner there, looking to his inside, making sure he's keeping plenty of space there. So we'll be using that a little bit tonight as it makes sense. But our helmet cam. So we'll have one more lap here, being that it's a short track. And once they get going, Chris Bassini, everyone's on the initial start. You can't go until the green flag. So once the green flag waves, everyone will know it's time to go. There's no leader choice or anything like that. Take a look, and it looks like looks like cameras are gonna be pretty limited here tonight. So we'll it is what it is. The pace car pulls off, and we'll get going racing here. Green flag is out, and Chris Bassini is holding that inside, but Joe Dinsmore fighting hard on the outside there. He is not going to let him just have that spot, and no one can blame him for that. Joe Dinsmore was eliminated from playoff contention last week, but has had speed all year, and he's showing it right now, running side by side with Chris Bassini. And those guys have gapped third place Brandon Bernhardt. And then behind him, Brandon, they've got a little bit of a single file. Brandon Bernhardt, Justin Anderson, Brian McFerrin. But right now, these guys still going at it. Looks like Chris Bassini has a slight edge here. But then it just goes away with that outside momentum. Heck of a battle up here for the lead right now. We'll see if Chris Bassini can get him here. No, that won't be enough. They have been side by side now for every lap of the race. And I keep thinking this is going to be the lap that Bassini does it, because he gets such a run when he enters the corner, and then it just dies on corner exit with that higher line being able to carry so much more momentum. But Bassini has to be careful here because he is battling for a championship. So, and Joe Dinsmore's not. I mean, Joe Dinsmore is trying to battle for a win. That's really all that ultimately matters for him. And possibly the wise thing here is just to let Dinsmore have it. And we see a car that was wrecked there down on the apron. No caution think that might have been Johnny Downey. He was right there with the leaders, but we are still green, and they are still battling. I have to wonder if this is doing a number on Passini's tires right now. I feel like it has to be, but it looks like Joe Dinsmore might be able to clear him, but not quite. But I think on corner exit here, Dinsmore might have it as Passini gets loose there, and Joe Dinsmore has it. So Joe Dinsmore will be our new race leader, and Passini falls back to second. Oh, caution is out. Caution's out. That is, let's see if we can find out what happened there. This is Mike Burgess. Marshall Hall's there. Adam Wood in the 45. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'll tell you what, folks. Adam Wood has had some of the most awful luck of anybody I've seen recently. And it continues for him tonight. Completely not his fault there, and just got caught up. So you hate seeing that for Adam. He's a great driver, and hopefully can still salvage a decent finish out of this thing. As he is taking some tires there and coming back out on the track. But he will go a lap down. So Joe Dinsmore, our leader, we saw an incredible battle there, and as a driver, you want to you want to be in a position where you can run the line you want to run. So surely that had to have hurt the tire wear of both Passini and Joe Dinsmore, but I think probably Passini more than Dinsmore, just because being on that inside line, you have to turn the wheel more, and you're not able to release on exit. It's just a tighter turning. It puts a lot more wear on that right front wheel. So we're gonna have to see if that's gonna have an effect on Passini later. Like if, for instance, Brandon Bernhardt, who he is racing for the championship against, whether or not Bernhardt will be able to get out there and battle with him once we get going green here again. So at some point here, we're looking at a 125 lap race, 125 laps, and I was told by my confidential source that it'd be a one-stop race. So at that point, I would think that we are looking at at least 65 laps or so before they have to pit. But if we keep having if we have another caution, I have to wonder, I don't have, because I didn't look at it before it got replaced with new lap times. We'll have to see once they get going green again how much of a fall off there's been since the start of the race, because if they've had a fall off and there's a caution that comes out, these guys are going to have to think about coming in for tires. This is a track position heavy track, but if I were someone in the back half of the field, we get another caution around, like say lap 25, 30, I'm probably going to come in as the lights in the pace car are off, and I believe we are missing our map, I just realized. So we'll take a look at that and find out why our track map is missing, and see if we can get that corrected. But leader choice on the restart here. Joe Dinsmore has chosen the outside lane for the restart as the pace car pulls off. And Joe's off early, gets a good jump, gets already in front of Chris Passini. No issue there for Joe Dinsmore, which is great for him. He's not going to have to battle. And we're seeing Justin Anderson trying to do the same thing now on that outside. And he is another championship contender. So Chris Passini feeling the pressure right now. And look at Blake Gordon up there, moving up quickly. Came in, no practice, and already just, shooting up through the field. Do a quick little refresh here of our timing and scoring, see if we can get that track map to show up. There we go. Okay, so that was just a little bug in the software there, and We've got our track map here, so we can see where everybody's at, and they are pretty tight here. Let's go side by side here and take a look, see what Josh Laston is seeing in car under race conditions. And we can see right here, he is behind Brian McFerrin, who is also a championship contender. Josh Laston here battling for position. This is currently the 6th and 7th place positions. So, yeah, that's what we're seeing here in Josh Laston. I mean, you can see it also really cool here. You can see, like, you know, as he's looking into the corner, you know, his head goes a little bit to the left and then sort of releases with the car. So, pretty close to what you'd be seeing with a driver in real life. Maybe a little more exaggerated due to VR headset almost being tunnel vision. But that's pretty spot on. So we'll go back to our broadcast here. Joe Dinsmore still leading. For the most part, the field looks like they are kind of content to go single file here, which probably makes sense. I mean, you're in no hurry right now. We still got a whole lot of laps ahead of us. But I would say if you're thinking about passing someone, you know, you got to set it up here. It's not something where you can just say, okay, I'm faster than this person, I'm going to go by them. You got to set it up. You got to make the move at the right time. Because the last thing you want to do is end up side by side with someone for 5 laps, like we saw with our first and second place cars right now. So, talking about lap times, I'd said there was some lap time fall off that would be expected at this point. About a quarter of a second across the field. So right now on these tires, these guys are about a quarter of a second slower than they were when they started the race, or at least compared to their fastest laps. So again, you got to be thinking. Another caution comes out. If you're one of those guys, I would say 10th on back, I would sure think about coming in and getting tires. You've got 3 sets tonight, so 3 additional sets. So why not? It's if you're in that position. Now, again, if I'm one of the top 10 guys, I'm not doing it because the track position is too valuable. But further back, we'll see. Larry Patrick asked if my confidential source was Josh Laston, and I don't know what would make him think that, being broadcast partners and teammates. But maybe, yeah, it probably was. Chris Passini here, battling back now. He's going to try to do to Joe Dinsmore what Joe did to him earlier, and running that high. He was very high there. Passini trying to make a move here. I think he's feeling the pressure there from Justin Anderson and Blake Gordon right behind him. So he knows that, right now if we pull up our points tracker, let's get that pulled up here. Take a look at our points as they run. And Passini's currently in the lead in points, which is no surprise. But, look, Justin Anderson, Blake Gordon, they both came in with 3 bonus points from the previous round. So if they can get up there, they're going to be able to potentially, one position won't do it, but a couple of positions they lead a lap. Of course, win the race, you get bonus points. So Passini's got to play a little bit defensive as well. He can't just be focused on passing Joe Dinsmore right now. There's a lot that's going on for these guys right now. Oh, we got caution. Caution's out. John Gordon has an issue. Let's take a look, see what happened to him here. So there's John Gordon on the inside in that 19 truck. He's down low, down. Oh, that is actually, I feel like an unusual place to lose it. I haven't run a ton of laps here, but just looks like, let's take one more look at it. Looks like just, hit some bumps down at the bottom of the track and just got him a little bit loose. And yeah, I think back in the truck just got a little light there. So John Gordon brings out our caution, and we got guys coming in the pits. This is interesting because everyone came into the pits with the exception of Chris Passini. Everyone on the lead lap, with the exception of Chris Passini, came in. Sorry, not sure what's happening there. So that's really, really not good for him. That is about the worst possible thing that could have happened to him. So, wow. I I don't know what to say right now. I think he expected people to go a little bit longer. And it's probably the first time I've ever seen the entire field pit with the leader staying out. So, wow. And now, actually, some of the guys who stayed out that were a lap down, they've also pitted. So, literally the only person in the race who was not pitted is Chris Piscini. And with the lap time differentials, ooh, this could be really bad for him. We'll get a moment here. Let's hear from one of our sponsors, Guitar Addict.
For 20 years, the Guitar Addict has been your home for used and vintage guitars in the Daytona Beach area and at GuitarAddict.com. The Guitar Addict is your home for used and vintage guitars. Whether you're looking for that collector's piece or that beginner piece, they've got you covered. With names like Fender, Gibson, Gretsch, Ibanez, Martin, Taylor, and much, much more, the Guitar Addict has all the guitars you need. And bass players, they haven't forgot about you. They've got all the top names. Amplifiers from Friedman, Victoria, Fender, Boss, and many, many more. They also have the largest selection of used pedals anywhere in the Southeast. The Guitar Addict, located at 1672.5 Ridgewood Avenue, just north of Flomish in Holly Hill, Florida. Also, check us out online at GuitarAddict.com.
All right, and we are back. Lights on the pace car are off, and our leader, Chris Ducky. That's what I'm going to call him now. It's my new nickname for him because he is a sitting duck at this point. Has Cody Mitchell to his inside, and Blake Gordon, Joe Dinsmore right behind him. I think he's about to get eaten alive. Pace car is off, and Piscini's off, and he is going, gets a great jump. That's about the, best thing he has going for him right now. But Blake Gordon right there on him. Blake Gordon making that move on the inside, which is no surprise. Blake Gordon's going to have a massive amount of speed compared to Chris Piscini right now. And Piscini's objective right now is to just try to lose as few positions as possible. He's going to lose some positions. He's going to lose quite a few positions. But really, ideally, he is going to want to try to stay in the top 10 here. But look, what more can I say about Blake Gordon? Caution's out. Caution is out. We've got several cars involved in this one. Let's take a look, folks, see what happened. So we've got Ed Springer. Oh, that's something that happened back there. We're going to go back and look at that in a second. But this is the first one on my board, so we got multiple crashes. Oh, that's the 70 car, Brandon Bernhardt. And Justin Anderson involved. Wow, what happened? We're gonna have to manually rewind this one because it did not show all. Oh, that was on the restart. That is unbelievable. Actually, I guess it was a little bit before the restart, but let's take a look first. I want to see what happened up here with Brandon Bernhardt. Oh, him and Justin Anderson had some issues. Oh, man. That's rough right there for Brandon Bernhardt. But then, see if we can find out who that other, Marshall Hall had an issue. Let's see if we can find out what happened with him. So Marshall here. Oh, he's got a little loose. Gets Johnny Downey, but actually used Johnny Downey to keep himself straight. And then came right into this one. Hits the 82. Man, that's a lot of good trucks that were involved in that. I'm going to go here one more time. Unfortunately, we can't do the VR cam for replays for Josh Laston, but I do want to go to his in-truck view here for this wreck. If I can find him here on the board, Josh Laston. Take a look, see what he was looking at. If I can find the cockpit camera, here we go. wow, just that's one of those you just stay low and you just hope for the best. So, but hey, that moves Josh Laston up to 4th. So that actually, you know, that's one of the best things that could happen for Chris Bassini. But and while we're talking here, I'm going to go to Josh's in-car so we can take a look, see what he's doing. I'm not going to do this a ton under race conditions because I don't want to make you guys sick. But at least under pacing conditions, it's not quite as much movement. Well, go back to what I was saying about Blake. I mean, it is incredible that the guy came out here literally 0 laps of practice and was able to just come out and start leading laps. I mean, it's exceptional. I mean, there's not enough positive things I can say about it, as the lights on the pace car are off. New leader Blake Gordon will be controlling the restart here. Chris Bassini has to be really careful because he could lose a whole lot of positions right here, being on that inside. So once the pace car pulls off, Blake Gordon can go whenever he'd like, and he's off. Blake Gordon is off. Huge jump. And that worked out great for Bassini. He was able to jump up, and perhaps also his teammate gave him a little bit of leeway there, but his teammate's battling him on the outside now, trying to take that position. Let's actually cut back to that as Josh Laston going around Chris Bassini for 2nd place. This is, yeah, Josh Laston running 2nd place. I'm actually going to go back to his in-car. Take a look here as he's right there. Got a bit of a gap between him and Blake Gordon, but he's trying to catch up to him there. And we can see just behind, I mean, we've got battles throughout the field. Again, Chris Bassini cannot expect to possibly hang on to these positions. Everything he's trying to do right now is just hold to minimize the damage, because he's trying to make it to the point that he can make it to the end of the race. So without losing too many positions here. So I imagine he is not pitting until he can make it to the end of the race on fuel. But we're going to stay on this Josh Laston in car for a little bit because, there's a bit of a gap between him and Blake Gordon, but it's not huge. I mean, we're looking at under a 2nd gap. Josh Laston doing a heck of a job battling here. Not saying that this is something you wouldn't expect to see, but at the same time, I mean, he is, Josh Laston is typically to be completely honest, a 5th through 10th place truck. It's something the averages show, but I mean, this is a track that works out really well for him. So I think that, I think he looks like he has a lot of speed tonight. He was moving through the field. Obviously, was a beneficiary of that incident, but things not looking so bad right now for Josh Laston. Let's take a look here. Another Chase playoff contender. We'll take a look here at Brian McFerrin. Got a little bit of damage on the back of that truck, but not a huge deal at a track like this. Really, not a huge amount of aero issues here. So, but Brian McFerrin right now running in 5th, but he's trying to take 4th place away from Chris Bassini just in front of him. And I'm gonna take a look here at the lap times. Right now, they're starting to equalize out a little bit. Bassini did a 19.31. McFerrin behind him did a 19.28. And Dinsmore ahead of him did a 19.21. So not quite that huge differential that there was earlier. So Bassini might be able to hang on maybe top 6, top 7 or so, and this won't be so bad for him. Let's take a look. Find another playoff contender here. Got to go a ways back, unfortunately. Justin Anderson running in 13th. So Justin Anderson not having the kind of night he needed to have. Got caught up in that incident. May have been involved in causing it. I would have to take another look at the replay but there was some contact there initially with him, if I'm not mistaken. So, and caution's out. We have caution. Derek Schilling and Ross Gage. Let's take a look. We got Derek Schilling in that 87. Ross Gage on his outside, and I'm not sure if Derek bumped him there or not. It was real close, but regardless, Ross got loose on the exit there, possibly from a bump, possibly not. Take one more look here, and we'll take a we'll switch to our chase camera and see if there was any contact. Might have been a little bit. And Ross just not able to hang on, so that'll bring out our third caution of the evening. And a whole bunch of guys come into pits. Chris Passini gets the pit stop that he needed. Blake Gordon also in, along with Joe Dinsmore, I believe, also came in. Actually, not even seeing Joe. Oh yeah, Joe did come in. He got off pit road fast. So our new leader is Josh Laston, having a great race for us, showing this in-car view, and we can actually see there he's playing around with pit settings a little bit, and we won't talk about what the pit settings are in case any of the drivers are listening, but yeah, Josh Laston, our leader, riding around behind the pace car here, and crucially getting himself a bonus point here for leading a lap. So on that note, let's take a look as they run right now what our standings are looking like. Josh Laston right now sitting at top of the standings, and that just goes to show you how much this one race can set the tone for the rest of the season. Our 2 races remaining after this, because of the pit stops. I mean, Blake Gordon had an incredibly long pit stop. Not quite sure what happened there. He had a 1-minute pit stop. So Blake Gordon currently sitting 6th in the point standings. So a little bit of a shakeup here. I mean, this is not what we were expecting to see. You know, a lot of your favorites. I mean, like Blake Gordon sitting in the back, Justin Anderson sitting in 3rd. I mean, so yeah, I mean, things can change in a hurry, and I think they are definitely not done changing as the lights on the pace car are off. I think they're off. I would have thought we were lining up. There they go. They're lining up. McFerrin holding back just a little bit. Quite sure why he is not up there next to Josh Laston, but pace car is off. And Josh Laston's away, gets a great, oh, Brian McFerrin gets hit. Might have spun his tires there a little bit. Caution is out. Caution is out. I know that was with Brian McFerrin, but I want to start here with Dan Witt, see what happened with him. So yeah, Dan's right here behind Brian, and I think Brian just got it. Yeah, Brian got it loose. I think possibly getting, or spun his tires a little bit, and then Dan got into the back of him, and wow, that was a huge pile up. That is who just went up? Kevin Moeller upside down. Man, a lot of guys caught up in that. That was a large portion of the field involved in that incident, and with some heavy damage to some of these guys. Wow, I'm looking through, seeing who possibly was involved. Kevin Moeller, Johnny Downey, Cody Mitchell, Teddy Weichel. It says Blake Gordon was involved. Let's see, go back live here and see if we see any damage on his truck. Blake Gordon, yeah, he was involved. Ross Gage involved. Again, unfortunate for him. Mike Burgess involved. Kevin Schmidt. Derek Schilling. Gael Brooks. Did Gael get some damage in that? Either he took a fast repair or he wasn't involved. There's a little bit of damage on the back there. That's not so bad. That's not so bad. You can drive that. Some of these guys, rough. There's no other way to put it. As Josh Laston coming into the pits. I'm going to see if I can get... I didn't get over in time. I was hoping to see him entering pit road there. We're seeing him come off and making sure he doesn't speed there. And Josh Laston is out. Coming back on the track. And This is a little bit of a treacherous pit exit. Fortunate they're not doing it under green. But, yeah, so that was Josh Laston's pit stop, and that's what I mean. We have a new leader, Mr. Justin Rodden. Justin pitted at lap 29, so I honestly don't know if that's going to be able to make it to the end on fuel. Again, all I know is that it was a one-stop race. I don't know the actual numbers. I am going to try to pull that up real quick, though, and see if I can find it. So the big question mark will be, will Justin Rodden have enough fuel to make it to the end, along with some of these other guys here who pitted around the same time. Justin Anderson, same lap. Brandon Bernhardt. I mean, these guys have made huge comebacks from the issues they had earlier. And, hey, take a look. I mean, Chris Piscini pitted at lap 52. Should be good on fuel, I believe. And, you know, is now in a much better position than he was earlier. The guy, you know, who other than the guys who were in the incident, the guy who got hurt by that's Josh Laston. I'm sure he wanted it to stay green longer instead of, you know, a half a lap. Because if it could have stayed green, then, you know, he has a chance of everyone wearing their tires down a bit more, and everyone having to pit as the pace car pulls in. And Justin Rodden's away and gets a great jump, and but wow, Justin Anderson just I thought for a second that he was going to run Justin Rodden over. Had a you know, didn't have the exact timing on the jump, but entering the corner, man, he had a full head of steam. And we're going to see here if Justin Anderson is going to be able to take this position, because he's fighting for it right now. Let's take a look here. I want to take a look here. Cody Mitchell. He's running that 89. And Cody right now is running 8th. Putting together a pretty good race so far. Running on the outside of Josh Laston there. Who they are actually on equal tires right now. So you would expect, yeah, no problem making the pass there. And we're seeing Blake Gordon making the move there on Mr. Josh Laston. I think it's Blake Gordon. Oh, yeah, it is Blake Gordon, but Blake is a lap down. So this is not for position. Blake almost runs over his dad there. I think that might ruin your Christmas there, buddy. So Justin Anderson had some sort of issue. I don't know what happened there, but Justin Anderson falls back. And Chris Piscini here is now battling for that top position. We knew that Piscini had speed. He qualified on pole, and he's showing that speed right now. He's saying, you know, with fresh tires, I can lead this race and I can win this race. So Chris Piscini trying to go up there and take a position, take over that lead. He keeps working that outside, just, you know, not even really all the way up, just like a half groove, and Justin Anderson will, Justin Rodden will slide up, but Piscini, all Piscini has to do is be there on corner exit. If he can be next to him on corner exit, and that's all he needed right there. That should be able to help him complete the pass. Rodden will be able to get a bit of a lead there entering the corner, but then Piscini will have the run exiting the corner, and that's what we're seeing right here. And Piscini should be able to get clear of him this time. There he is. New leader is Chris Piscini. Hey, someone else I want to point out, and this is, I wasn't expecting to see this, but Mr. Adam Wood right now running in 3rd place after that unfortunately, you know, just awful incident he had earlier that, you know, was not his fault, just keeps getting caught up in stuff week after week. And here he is running in 3rd. We know he has the speed, so hoping he might be able to get a finish that's indicative of that speed. I'll tell you what, though, right now Justin Anderson is struggling. He is having a hard time. It could be those older tires. I'm looking at, yeah, I mean, everyone around him has quite a bit fresher tires. So he's sort of in the position Piscini was in earlier, not quite as extreme, but right now he's just trying to hang on to every position he can and not give up too much before he's able to pit. And we'll take a look here. How about Derek Schilling here? Working on the inside of Cody Mitchell. We see that Josh Laston was also able to get around Mitchell, and Derek had some issues there. Slip of issue, and Johnny Downey gives him plenty of space. Caution's out. I apologize, folks. The caution indicators in the top left of my screen. I'm over here looking at my right screen to see the timing and scoring. So let's see if we can find out what happened here. Well, I don't have a clue. Let's take a look. Ross Gage went off track. So Ross Gage in our 80. He goes around. Comes back out on track real slow, and that's probably what brought out the caution. Yep, because there's the leader right there. So, got some guys coming in pit road now. Let's take a look here. Brandon Bernhardt centering pit road. Justin Anderson, Justin Rodden, Teddy Weichel, John Gordon, Marshall Hall all on pit road. No surprise there. Those are the guys that had older tires there. So, they'll have a bit of advantage coming back out here. And I believe dangerous Blake Gordon back on the lead lap due to, I believe, the lucky dog. So Blake Gordon back in the hunt. He's got some damage, but, that's not so bad. Got Gael Brooks, Dan Witt also entering pit road there. So, our leader here, we got Kevin Moeller there. He's going to get the wave around. He's a lap down. So once we're at 1 to green, he'll get the wave around. But our leader, Chris Piscini, and Adam Wood running in second. Joe Dinsmore in third, and then Josh Laston in fifth. And in fifth, Josh Laston in fourth, and in fifth is Cody Mitchell. So, Josh Laston, I'm looking here, guys. Lap 59, Joe Dinsmore, Josh Laston, Cody Mitchell. Those guys pitted at lap 59. Johnny Downey did as well, but he's a little further back. Those guys are in pretty good shape right now. I mean, the goal here is to, if this thing stays green, get a good jump. Hopefully the guys who just pitted will have to battle for a little while, and you won't, lose a lot of positions in the meantime. You might be able to hold up at the front, but the first guy who pitted is Brandon Bernhardt running in 10th. So 10th place, fresh tires, about 15 lap fresher. Not a huge difference, but those first 10 laps, you're going to see this when it's still pretty fresh, going to make a bit of a change. So there we go. Kevin Moeller gets the wave around. Lights on the pace car are off, and we'll be going green flag. Chris Piscini will be restarting on the outside. No surprise. We've seen every leader do that so far tonight. So Piscini will be dictating the restart, and I'm going to go side by side here so we can see it from Josh Laston's perspective. See what he's seeing as the pace car pulls off, and they are off, and Josh Laston gets a great restart there next to Adam Wood. He's going to battle him there. But Chris Piscini having no issue. And, I mean, very clear there that if they were coordinating that restart, they did a poor job of it, being teammates. Laston got a little bit of a jump, but not enough to clear Adam Wood. So that's actually, I'm going to cut back, Piscini's, pulled away here a little bit. Let's keep an eye on this battle right here between Josh Laston, Adam Wood, and Joe Dinsmore. Josh Laston is a teammate of Chris Piscini on closed circuit racing, and Adam Wood and Joe Dinsmore are teammates for Steelhand Racing. And one thing I actually noticed with the point standings that I thought was pretty cool. I'll pull these up here right now. We'll take a look at our. Actually, we'll go back to our. We'll go to the standings in a little bit because I want to see right here with Josh Laston a little bit. See if he's able to close that gap between him and Piscini. Right now, about 0.7 seconds. It does look like he's narrowing that very slightly and very slowly. Josh Laston with slightly fresher tires than Piscini. caution's out. Caution is out again. Dan Witt involved. Big red. Let's take a look, see what happened. Dan Witt here to the outside of Blake Gordon, and I think let's take one more look at that, because so Dan was behind Gael Brooks, it looked like. Yeah, so Dan's behind Gael, and he tries to drop down. Oh, I think what happened there is Brian McFerrin came up, and he had every right to come up, and I think Dan Witt just didn't know that he was going to come up, and he came down. And I'll tell you what's crazy about that is that him and Brian McFerrin made hard contact, and McFerrin kept going. No issues whatsoever. This is how they work out sometimes. So Gael Brooks there, I believe, got the lucky dog. Gael Brooks is our defending race winner. Won last week on a stunning fuel mileage strategy. And, I know that Gael's a great racer. I've raced with him before in the fuel series and others, and know he's a really good driver. But still to come into this series last week, win a race on strategy, after such a short period of time in this series, it was really cool to see. So, what I was going to say about the point standings, let's get those pulled up real quick. Take a look, see how they're running right now. So right now, Chris Bassini and Josh Laston up top, followed by Justin Anderson, Brandon Bernhardt, Blake Gordon, and Brian McFerrin. Now again, these are not the official points. This is what the points would be if the race ended right now. And again, they're still not even official, because we don't make points official until the admins have reviewed everything, made sure that all the positions were correct and all of that. These are estimates. But what I wanted to point out, I find it interesting with this final six that we have Chris Bassini and Josh Laston, both from Closed Circuit Racing. Justin Anderson, Brian McFerrin, both from Steel Horse Racing. Brandon Bernhardt, Blake Gordon, both from Endeavor Racing. So we have 3 teams, 2 members from each team, representing their teams in the playoffs right now. So kind of a 3-way battle between teams right now for this championship, and lights on the pace car are off. I'm going to go in car here with Josh Laston again. So, because I think what you're going to see here is you're going to see him looking to the right quite a bit. I think we're going to see him looking to the right, both to look at Bassini and then, presumably when Bassini clears him, to make sure that Adam Wood isn't there on his outside as well. So, pace car's off, and we are away. And Josh right now getting a heavy pressure from Adam Wood on the outside. And now Justin Anderson coming as well. So Josh Laston has his hands full. And Justin Anderson, look, if he gives up that position to Justin Anderson, he's unlikely to get it back. Justin has significantly fresher tires than Josh Laston. Anderson has placed himself really well right now and put himself in a great position. I think that, looking at, I mean, he's got 23 lap fresher tires. So caution's out. Caution is out. This has turned into a bit of a caution fest all of a sudden. Not sure what's happening here with these guys, but let's take a look here. See what happened. Kevin Moeller. Oh, that already started there. Let's rewind it here. So Kevin Moeller on the outside of Dan Witt, Brian McFerrin there, and let's play it slow motion. She's got a car going through the grass there as well. I think that might be Brandon Bernhardt, perhaps. It said Brandon Bernhardt went off track. Yes, Brandon Bernhardt. So Dan Witt came up there, it looked like. Kevin was a little bit lower on the line, but Dan Witt definitely came up. So, and then he crashes here, and does Gael get through it? Oh, yeah. Gael looks like he's okay. Okay. So, another caution here. That's hoping we can end this thing under green, but I'll tell you what, folks. I think that unless we just continue to have caution after caution after caution, I think Justin Anderson cannot be beaten right now. Pitted at lap 75, the freshest tires of anyone in the top 7. After that, you go back to Teddy Weichel, Justin Rodden in 8th and 9th, but Blake Gordon sitting there on even fresher tires than them. So, if we could have been a scenario where if we have a little bit of a green flag run and then a caution, pull them back together, Blake Gordon might be able to work his way back up. I don't think he can win this race, but look, I mean, we've still got 30 laps to go, so anything can happen at this point. We'll have to see what will happen. At this point, everyone should be good on fuel. I'm not seeing anyone that would be... Yeah, I mean, everyone should be fine. Pull up my fuel mileage calculations that I said I was going to pull up, and I didn't. Let's take a look here at the secret source. And take a look, see what kind of fuel mileage he was getting. So we're about 70 laps on a tank of fuel. So yeah, everyone should be good, especially with these cautions. Everyone should definitely be good. The only scenario guys might have been stretching would be guys like Piscini and Adam Wood, who pitted at 52. If we had stayed green the entire time, they'd possibly be in trouble. But lights on the pace car are off. Chris Piscini will be our leader. We're going to go in car with Josh Laston again. And Piscini is off already. And I think Josh Laston's about to lose some positions here. This is just, the nature of the fact that, he's got older tires, than Justin Anderson. Is very... Oh, Josh Laston looked like he bumped Adam Wood there a little bit. That was just the perspective of his in-car. Looks like he transmitted on all teams there, so probably issue an apology there to Adam. Man, that's remarkable. But I want to shoot back here to these guys back here. We got caution. Mike Burgess. Let's take a look, see what happened. Oh, Mike just lost it on corner exit. Yep. We've seen a few guys do that, and just him involved. I'll be completely honest. I'm surprised iRacing threw the caution there because I've seen worse incidents not get a caution thrown for them. So a little surprising there. All right, well, while we have a moment, let's hear a word about the league, the AOLL.
The AOLL Racing League began racing in the early 90s with Papyrus's NASCAR Racing and has grown over the decades, now racing on the iRacing platform. The AOLL has 3 divisions: the TNT Series Developmental Division for our beginners and those getting back into racing, the Cup Series for our veterans and Class A licensed drivers, the Sportsman Division racing the Gander outdoor trucks with drivers from the TNT and Cup Series. You can catch all of the AOLL action here on Ghostfire Media.
And we are back. Just taking a look there, watching Brandon Bernhardt as he rolled off pit road. Rough night for him. This is a guy, Brandon here, had a great championship run going and just has not really had much of anything go right for him tonight. We'll pull up our point standings here as they are. Brandon Bernhardt sitting back there in a pretty significant deficit. However, because of the way the AOLL does the points for the final round, they said, you know what? We can do it better than NASCAR, and we've seen that, honestly. I think that this format with the final 3 is absolutely better than what NASCAR does. It's not just coming down to one race. They've got 3 races for these 6 guys to settle it. one bad race is not the end of your championship hopes. It is going to make it a lot more difficult, though. And that's why I'm looking at guys like Chris Piscini, Justin Anderson, Josh Laston. They're running up there at the front. The one thing these guys have to make sure they do not do is try to battle each other too hard and end up wrecking each other. And we almost saw it with Josh Laston getting into Adam Wood. That was almost a major situation that could have taken him out of contention for the championship. You know, again, not out of contention, because again, like I said, I don't think Brandon Bernhardt's out of contention either, but could have severely hurt the position he's in right now. Right now, Josh Laston, you know, has made up a lot of points from where he started. I mean, he was, you know, tied with everyone, with the exception of Blake Gordon and Justin Anderson. So a lot of these guys making a statement tonight as the lights on the pace car are off. We'll go side by side again here for this restart. You see there, once again, Piscini gets a great jump. That's about the best Piscini can do at this point, is get a great jump, try to hang on to the lead as long as he can, because if a caution comes out, then he'll get another opportunity at it. Like, that's kind of what you want to keep have happening in Piscini's shoes, is let's keep having cautions. Let me keep getting this restart jump. Caution's out. Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one. Lots of guys involved. Oh, my goodness. That is a lot of people involved in that one. Let's take a look and see what happened here. Looks like possible. Man, I'm not sure what happened. Trying to find it. There was a lot of red, but let's pull up the initial yellow flag. That's not focusing on the correct driver. Oh, Joe Dinsmore, perhaps, was the start of it. We got Joe here in that Dragon Ball Z car. Blake Gordon under him. Let's take one more look at that, because, you know, it's hard to say if, you know, Joe was giving Blake enough room, or if Blake just, you know, went a little too low. We're going to switch to our chase camera here. Yeah, I think Blake Gordon's just trying to make up positions, but there wasn't a spot there. I mean, perhaps he thought, you know, and look, I've been in this situation before too, where I thought that, oh, well, somebody's going to give me some space, and I just misread it. Let's take a look here at Brandon Bernhardt, happening all in front of him. He gets into Kevin Moeller and then tags Joe Dinsmore. Poor Brandon, man. Dan Witt as well. Let's see what happened with Dan. Dan way back here. I mean, oh, Dan's good. He came to a stop. Dan backing up there courteously. I think he just gave Brandon a little curtsy as well. All right. So, a lot of guys caught up in that. We've seen a lot of that tonight. That's some of the unfortunate nature of these short tracks. North Wilkesboro in particular can be particularly challenging. It can be a challenging track. So yeah, I'm hoping we can just get to the finish of this thing. We've got 19 to go, and I'm waiting to see if we're going to end up with a battle here between Chris Piscini and Justin Anderson, because every time we get going, we end up with another caution. So hopefully these guys can settle down a little bit. But right now, I mean, this is the absolute best case scenario for guys who pitted earlier. Guys like, as mentioned before, Chris Piscini, Josh Laston, Adam Wood, Johnny Downey. Almost everyone on the track, literally everyone on the track has fresher tires than those guys. So we'll cut back here. Go in car with Josh Laston one more time, and Piscini is off. And that is exactly what Piscini has to do here. He's got to keep doing that, keep having these awesome launches, keep Justin Anderson guessing. But right now, I mean, there's some battles throughout the field. Some guys side by side. We've got Josh Laston there on the outside of Adam Wood. And Laston might be able to hold him off. Laston was able to hold him off there. So I actually expected Adam Wood to gain that position there. But Josh Laston with some great driving there. Able to hold off Adam Wood, and then they're stacking up behind him. Guys with fresher tires, ready to go. Justin Rodden there right now, pitted at the same lap as Justin Anderson. He's got those fresh tires, those fresh Goodyears, and he wants to get up there and run with his teammate. Blake Gordon's got fresher tires than any of them, and he's doing everything he can to try to get up to the front of that field. But right now, I mean, look, Piscini and Justin Anderson, this is a battle that is starting to develop here. Now, lap times have equalized to a degree. I mean, quite a bit, actually. And it could be that Justin Anderson's just kind of sitting back a little bit and stalking. But looking at what I'm seeing here, Piscini's last lap was an 18.94. Justin Anderson's last lap was an 18.89. So, you know, we are talking about guys that are running very comparable lap times right now, and Justin Anderson's tire advantage potentially gone. But we're going to have to see when Blake Gordon gets up there, if he's able to. You know, he did an 18.89 last time as well, a little bit faster than Josh Laston in front of him. When he gets up there, if he gets up there, is he holding back a little bit? Will he be able to fight with these guys as well? Based on what I'm seeing on lap times, I don't think so, but we'll have to wait and see, as we've got 11 laps to go, about to be 10 laps to go here at North Wilkesboro. And we see Blake Gordon making a move on the inside of Josh Laston. See, they are side by side. Get a good perspective of what Laston's looking at here as he's battling with Blake Gordon. And Gordon able to get by. So now Blake Gordon is able to set his sights on our two leaders, Justin Anderson, Chris Piscini. Let's pull up pit strategy here. Take a look at. Actually, sorry, I gotta hide that. So you can see how old their tires are. Those top three guys. Piscini is on 65 lap old tires. Caution is out. Caution is out again. Let's take a look, see what happened here, because I'm seeing several names in red here. Let's start with Derek Schilling. Derek Schilling to the inside of that 95 Joe Dinsmore. So Derek looked like he was riding up a little bit, but it also looked like Joe may have gotten a little bit loose. We're going to take a look here in slow-mo, see what happened. So Derek there. Derek's probably a little bit tight. Joe's definitely swinging that back end around, but that's Joe was still holding his line, even if he was swinging that back end around. That's on Derek that time. Bunch of guys caught up in that. Brian McFerrin again. Man, this guy I think has been caught up in every wreck tonight. I feel bad for Brian McFerrin tonight, being a championship contender. He's in bad shape right now, and we're gonna take one more look here at these standings as they run. Because look, this is what's important right now. Individual race results, yeah, absolutely, you want to go get a win, but your points racing, and while a win will get you a lot more points, you can't take your eyes off the big picture. But right now, Piscini leading in the point standings, followed by Justin Anderson, Blake Gordon, Josh Laston. Those guys are all within 8 points of each other. Then you drop back to Brandon Bernhardt, who is 7 points back from Josh Laston, and then Brian McFerrin, who's another 5 points back from Brandon Bernhardt. So that's Brandon Bernhardt and Brian McFerrin having a rough night for sure, but those are gaps that can be rebounded from over the next two races. So hope to see those guys have much better luck, much better fortunes the next few races, and actually, I hope they can have better fortunes for the remainder of this race. We still got 4 laps to go. Once we go green, it might be a green-white checkered condition. I don't know how many more laps we have under caution. Lights on the pace car are on still. So even if it's not an actual green-white checkered, we may essentially be green-white checkered if we come 2 green with 2 to go. Absolute best case scenario for Chris Piscini right now, but what he wants to have happen is for this thing, he wants a great launch, and then he wants this thing to be over. Because what he doesn't want to have, I mean, look, Justin Anderson's given him, everything like he could ask for. I mean, that's Justin Anderson's been crazy fast, but his tires have fallen off a bit, and I think Blake Gordon might still have just enough life left in those tires. We're going to go side by side here with Josh, hopefully for the last time here on a restart. He will be stacked up behind his teammate. If they can get a good restart together, I mean, look, Piscini's going to want Laston to be right there with him. So we'll have to see. I mean, I think if Laston can stay, if Laston can get right next to Justin Anderson and stay there entering the first corner, and we don't have caution, I think Piscini wins this race because Justin Anderson having to fight off, and we are actually officially, you see it up in the top left of Josh Laston's screen, we are officially making a green-white checkered attempt here. This will be the first of, I believe, 2 attempts. So we'll see here what kind of restart, and Piscini's off. Piscini is off. Laston gets a great jump as well. He is on the outside of Justin Anderson. If we can stay green, I think... oh, we're 3 wide. We're 3 wide. They're bumping and shoving. Josh Laston, they are fighting, doing everything he can, but Blake Gordon's the one that gets through that. Blake Gordon gets through that 3 wide situation and now has his sights set on the leader of Chris Piscini. I was not expecting to see that happen. That was, wow. So that's it. Checkered flag is out. Gordon had a shot there. Did not expect that he would. I even said earlier, that he where he was running, he didn't have a shot. But man, heck of a finish for him. We'll pull up our results as soon as we can here. Gotta wait for them to be official in the system. And there they are. So, our results. Chris Piscini finishes in first, and Blake Gordon's in second. In third, we have Justin Anderson, and in fourth, Josh Laston. Fifth is Justin Rodden, and in sixth, Adam Wood. Seventh is Johnny Downey, and in eighth, Cody Mitchell. Ninth, Kevin Schmidt. 10th, Teddy Weichel. 11th is John Gordon, and in 12th, Brandon Bernhardt. 13th is Brian McFerrin, and in 14th, Dan Witt. 15th is Joe Dinsmore, and in 16th, Gael Brooks. 17th is Ed Springer, and in 18th, Derek Schilling. In 19th, we have Kevin Moeller, and in 20th, Mike Burgess. 21st is Ross Gage, and in 22nd, Marshall Hall. 23rd is Tony Pandon. So, with that being said, let's pull up our race winner, Mr. Chris Piscini. Once I am able to find him here. Hey, Piscini, it's Carl in the booth. Get a copy?
Hey, yeah, I got you.
Hey, man, that was a pretty wild race. A lot of cautions there at the end, but man, it looks like I thought you were going to have a handful there with the the incredibly old tires, but you were able to hang on. Talk to me about that finish.
I was actually pretty happy we were getting those short runs, like 3-4 lap runs towards the end, because the tires seemed to even out probably like 40 laps into a run, and it was chipping away at Anderson's tire wear compared to mine. So eventually we were getting to the point where we were closer and closer. Sure, he had more speed than me, but to make a pass on the bottom, it's very difficult here if somebody can really drive it in on the top. So that's all I was hoping for, was just a shot at the end where I can pinch him on the bottom and hopefully hold him off. But that was fun.
Yeah, well, when I was saying that might have been the case, but I also want to ask you here about that first pit stop where the entire field came in and you were out. What was going through your head when that happened?
I was mad. It was crossing my mind to pit, but I'm like, it's too early. I just want to make this a one-stop race. And I saw the entire field come in, and I just had the loudest sigh. And Josh heard me. He's like, "You stayed out." I'm like, "Yeah."
Well,
it was a mistake. I held on to fourth though, which was a plus.
if Josh wanted to be a good teammate, he should have stayed out with you and maybe held some of them off. But
no, that would have hurt the both of us.
So obviously a lot of the things you saw were happening in your rearview mirror, near at the end of the race there. At one point they went 3 wide there with Laston and Anderson and Gordon.
Was that at the very end?
Yeah, right at the very end they went 3 wide, and then
well, I had tunnel vision. I was just straight out my windshield.
So Blake Gordon got through that, and Blake Gordon had significantly fresher tires than you did, and like you said, it looked like you and Justin Anderson had equalized a little bit.
It's when the tires cool down a little bit under yellow, you can get pretty good pace out of the tires for 2 laps. So I was able to send it in a lot harder than when my tires heated up. But I wanted Josh to get a good restart on the outside so he could just kind of hassle them a little bit and to kind of hopefully hold them off enough where I could just kind of relax coming to the white. And luckily it kind of worked out how we wanted it to. But anything could happen.
Well, and this puts you in a very good place with the point standings. I'm going to pull up here and see if they've been officially updated. They have been. Admins are on it. Let's take a look here at our standings. You are sitting at the top right now. You have an 8-point lead over Blake Gordon right now, with all the bonus points you had tonight. So, next week we've got the road course, which we expected you to be strong at. But we've got a lot of good road course racers. I mean, Blake Gordon's a prime example of that. How are you feeling about going into that?
I like Daytona Road Course. It's not my favorite. It's probably more fun in like an LMP or something. But as far as the stock cars overall are just bad on road courses the way the tire model is. But I'm okay at the track. I'm not great at it, but I just wanted to get out of here tonight with a decent points finish. So if something did happen in the road course race, I'd still kind of be okay. So.
All right. Well, hey, great run, sitting on top of the point standings. So I'll put you back down with Josh, and you two guys can do whatever you do to celebrate. I never get to participate.
All right. Thanks, Carl.
Yep. Have a good evening.
You too.
All right. That was Chris Bassini. Let's bring up second place Blake Gordon. Hey, Blake. It's Carl in the booth. Get a copy?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
First of all, weren't you supposed to be gone this week?
I was indeed. So I just want to start off by thanking my awesome wife for green-lighting this at 8 o'clock tonight when we got home from dinner. She had some stuff to take care of, and I'm like, well, I can sneak this race in an hour.
Well, I won't take up too much of your time then, because it's your wedding anniversary, so
it's totally fine. So anything you want to talk about, because there's quite a few things I can think of.
Yeah, what we saw, it was kind of very much an up and down night for you. Finished up, but got to ask you, first of all, about that, final run there where you and Justin and Josh Laston were 3 wide. Are you surprised that the 3 of you guys got out of that without any sort of incident?
No, because Justin and Josh are competent drivers that can handle that type of thing.
Well, I actually, at the moment that came out of my lips, I had a feeling that was going to be your answer.
Yeah, I mean, like, I really trust Justin. Like, I know into the race, he knows I'm going to make that move. I had the better tires at that point. He knows me. Like, he knows what I'm going to do. Josh, I figured, would have been heads up enough to hear the 3 wide call, and he was exiting up near the wall anyway, so I knew we were going to have the spade. And I knew I was going to have the run, kind of diamonding turn 1 to get underneath both of them going into turn 3, and then I was pretty confident being able to hold it down there right on the curb. And yeah, I think if Justin hadn't gotten such a terrible restart there at the end, I might have had a chance at Chris. But yeah, the whole down earlier in the race, my VR headset kicked me out, made me reconfirm tracking, so I pit from the lead and lost a lap on pit road.
Okay, so that's what that was. Okay.
Yeah, so, you know, of course, tonight of all races, I mean, I showed up, qualified 10th, figured out in the first run how the truck was handling, and when I got the lead there via pit strategy, it wasn't even pit strategy, it was just the leader, I think, had no tires, and second place had 2, so it stuck Joe behind those guys, and I was able to get through. But once I was up front with clean air, I'm like, damn, I'm actually kind of fast tonight. I love this track. It is terribly hard to pass, so up front's where you want to be. So I was feeling pretty good. And then as soon as I got kicked out of the headset, I was pissed because I knew, you know, it was going to be a long shot trying to get my lap back. I did ask. It got denied. So I was trying to race up through the field, get it the old-fashioned way, because my angle on that is, you know, poor Ross should have been the lucky dog, or whoever else was a lap down via crashes or something, and, you know, I have to take it because of an equipment issue. So I was trying to race up there and get it back and whatnot, and then had to start at the rear, got tires, and yeah, it was dicey coming up through the field.
Yeah, I mean, well, like you said, it's difficult to pass. Yet you were passing a lot of people, but I've got to ask because there was the incident with Joe Dinsmore. It looked like maybe you just came in pretty hot and pretty deep. I mean, what?
I was coming in intentionally hot and deep there. I had the tires at that point, and you know, getting into the braking zone, I knew I could get on the brakes and get that inside position. And I don't know if he didn't get a spotter call or didn't see it. But he just turned in like I wasn't there, and I was at the point we had made contact. I was already off the gas, on the brakes, and on the curb. So I don't know if netcode sent him around or, you know, he actually did make contact off my right front. But you know, sometimes you're gonna make moves like that, and you know, I like to think that if someone does that to me, I'm gonna see it happening and give them exactly 1 lane. But it's late in the race. Everyone's fighting for everything up there, so I can't really, you know, fault anyone for that. It was just hard racing at the end there.
Yeah, 10-4. So, hey man, I just got one last thing I want to say to you. You know, this your VR headset issue. You know, you had an issue a few weeks ago at the fuel race.
A few weeks ago was my fault with settings. Tonight was the first time that's ever happened with this headset. So. Not really sure what that was all about. Hopefully it doesn't happen again, because you know, Sunday night's going to be, you know, first race of the Cup playoffs. So, I mean, I'm just lucky it didn't happen under green flag tonight, because I would have probably at that point just quit. You know, had I gone 2 or 3 laps down, because at that point the race is over for me anyway. So
right. Well,
but yeah, it was fun. Fun track. Setup was tricky. Classic Wilkesboro, just so hard to get around, guys, man.
Yeah.
It's yeah, even. There was one point where there was a couple of guys I knew I could get around, but like they're side by side, and it's like I don't want to keep taking everyone 3 wide, but it's like I felt like that's what you have to do if those guys are just going to run side by side, because what are you going to do? Sit there for 20 laps, wait for them to go single file?
Right. No, I mean
that much.
It's kind of
saw what happened after I cleared everyone. I was catching up to Bassini and Justin there at the end.
Yeah. No. I mean, it's a tricky position you're always in when you're you know, having to race through a field when you're faster, but they're also racing for position as well. So it's always a tricky thing. But I'm gonna let you go celebrate your anniversary and everything, and we'll
got my work cut out next week at the road course with Bassini taking pole, the win, leading the most laps and everything. So
yeah, he's got a little bit of a points advantage right now, but I think we'll end up having a battle. I don't think this thing will be decided until the end of the 3rd race.
Yeah, both series, 14 wins coming into the final round, but that doesn't mean shit anymore. It's just these 3 races. So you're going to go out there and try to, win all of them. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, well, we'll be seeing you again Sunday night, and good luck then, and good luck for the rest of the week.
Might see me tomorrow.
Oh, hey, who knows? We'll see what happens.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Thank you, Blake.
Thanks again for doing the broadcast. Talk to you later. See you.
All right, Blake Gordon. We'll bring up Justin Anderson here, get his perspective. Hey, Justin, it's Carl in the booth. Get a copy?
I do indeed.
Man, that was a pretty crazy finish for you there. I feel like you had to have wanted it to stay green flag there near the end, right?
Yeah, there were far too many cautions for my liking. At one point, I had substantially fresher tires than Bassini, Josh, Adam did, and I didn't get a chance to take advantage of them because we had so many cautions that the tires kind of equalized.
Yeah, we saw that happen. I mean, then, the lap times, even on track, we can see it equalize. But want to ask you, just from your perspective, same thing I asked Blake, with the 3 wide situation. That was awesome to see happen. He was, I don't know if you listened to his interview, but he was saying that he trusted you guys. How did you feel in that situation? Because if I'm remembering correctly, you were stuck in the middle, were you not?
I was. Well, so first off, I do want to apologize to Brandon Bernhardt for wiping him out earlier in the race. I thought I was closer on the bottom, and I was not. The 3-wide situation, I wasn't worried about Blake being on the inside or Josh being on the outside, but really, really late on exit, I got loose, kind of unexpectedly. I'd run underneath trucks the entire race, and when I caught it, I ended up shoving Josh into the wall. And although I joke about wanting to wreck him and not liking him and all that stuff, I actually do like the guy, and I had no intention of shoving him up into the wall. And I was looking forward to going into turn 3 wide at North Wilkesboro. That would have been an awesome sight, but I kind of messed it up.
Yeah. Well, we actually get to see a lot of that from Josh's perspective because we had a helmet camera running tonight with him and saw it all through his VR, which is really cool. And yeah,
it was not a live mic because I'm sure he wasn't amused with
it. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it wasn't. I didn't see anything coming through, but we're gonna be very hopeful that it wasn't.
I can't wait to go back and watch the broadcast, even though this wasn't my best race from a cleanliness perspective, but I am excited to see it. There was a lot of racing through the field. I took the AOLL for dumping Brandon, unfortunately, and so it was really cool to see how many different lines people could run and how much battling there was throughout the track.
Well, and you're in a pretty solid place in the points right now. You're sitting here in 3rd place. Let's see here. You're 11 points back from the leader, so not in bad shape at all going into next weekend. But I know what you're about to say is that your road courses aren't your favorite.
I'm not terrible at them. I just, unfortunately, 2 of the people who are ahead of me in points are better than I am. I felt like I could battle for a top 5 at Daytona Road Course, but I don't. Now with the race that I had today, a top 5's not going to cut it. So I guess I'll be practicing a lot this week.
Yeah, well, or perhaps throwing out a unique strategy or something like that. Alternatively, you can just go out there and wreck both of them.
I've had enough wrecking people tonight. I think I'm gonna put that on the shelf until next season if I can. Thanks.
Okay. Well, look, I'll be racing with you.
Wait, am I racing with you at all? Because I'll be happy to take it back off the shelf if that's the case.
Well, look, you'll be racing with me next year. In at least the Cup Series. But if you're racing with me tomorrow night in TNT, feel free to take me out. Especially for being so arrogant to pick myself to win. Just go in there and wreck me. It'll be karma.
We're at Phoenix, aren't we?
We are.
So that will actually be I have not run the ARCA cars at Phoenix. I didn't get a chance to practice yesterday, so that'll be a fun little battle.
Well, I ran an IndyCar race last night at Michigan, and then immediately tried to jump into practice in the ARCA cars at Phoenix, and I genuinely felt like I was driving a bus.
Did your brain feel like you were going crazy?
I seriously, I came off pit road and I went into the first corner after the pits, and I don't even think I touched the brakes, and I was like, oh, no, that's not going to work. So, yeah, it's going to be a bit of an adjustment. Of course, Josh Laston came out there, and he just immediately set the fast lap time. So, but he's...
Well, if you need to get past him, just put him him into the wall. It just worked for me.
Hey, if I can catch him, I'll give that a try tomorrow night. So
Please don't. I feel bad enough already. I have to send 3 different apology notes via Facebook Messenger in the last 5 minutes. That's a feeling I never want to have again. Thanks.
well, hey, great run from you tonight. I'm gonna send you back down to your team, and have a good evening.
Thanks for the broadcast. Have a good one.
All right, so we'll run through the top 6 in points right now. As mentioned before, Chris Piscini in first, Blake Gordon in second, third is Justin Anderson, fourth, Josh Laston, fifth is Brandon Bernhardt, and then sixth, Brian McFerrin. And before we go here, I want to run through all of the exciting action we've got coming to you on the Ghostfire Media Network this week. Tomorrow night at 8 p.m., the AOLL TNT Series takes on Phoenix in the penultimate race of the year. So join us for that. Friday night at 8 p.m., join us for the GFM podcast. We'll sit around, have some drinks, and have some guests on, and have a good time. Sunday night at 8 p.m., the AOLL Cup Series is also at Phoenix, and it's the first of 3 races to determine the 2021 champion for that series. Monday night at 9 p.m., the Jeff Hill Trailer Sales Fuel Premier Series will be at Atlanta with just 2 races remaining in the season. And then 1 week from today, Wednesday night at 8 p.m., the AOLL Sportsman Series will be here with the Daytona Road Course. So that'll do it for us here tonight. On behalf of myself and the entire Ghostfire Media crew, so long and have a good night.